Hi everybody, I'm Nick Vole. The start of school is just around the corner, and with COVID-19 we know it's going to be a lot different this year, so we're trying to answer the questions that parents are sending in. As you probably know by now, school will start remotely with kids learning and teachers teaching at home. The district has adapted its online learning model to what it's calling Remote Learning 2.0 based on feedback from families and teachers. And joining me now to talk about those family questions is the district's Director of Instructional Technology, Matt Greco. Matt, thanks for taking the time.
Thank you for having me here.
So let's dive right into it. How are parents and students going to be accessing class materials this year?
For class materials, starting with the devices, all returning students already have their devices, which allows them to already have access to most of their curriculum. New students and kindergartners, the new kids coming into the schools, they've already begun their pickup of those devices. Along with those devices, students log in. We have a new platform called ClassLink.
Mm-hmm.
ClassLink allows them to see the dashboard of their main resources, whether it's Canvas, the Google Drive, Seesaw for the younger kids, where they can then see their assignments for the day.
Okay. ClassLink kind of gets me to my next question, because one of the things we learned in the spring was that some parents felt there were too many places they needed to go to get their students learning. With ClassLink, it's a single sign-in. Is that correct?
Correct. ClassLink will still have those programs that the students use in the classrooms, but ClassLink puts them all in one location. So if I needed resources, a textbook I was using for my math class, those can be found at ClassLink, and the students just click on. It's a single sign-on. You may need to log in you will need to log in the first time, but after that, ClassLink remembers your passwords and allows you just to move smoothly through the program after that.
So that single login is something that we as a district we learned in the spring, make things simpler. What are some other things we learned from parent and teacher feedback? Because we just got thrown into this in the spring. Now we've had more time to reflect and take a more thoughtful approach.
From the ITS standpoint, and as far as teachers, we learned to scale back. We don't need as much. Fewer platforms, fewer programs. Keep directions and instructions simple for parents and especially students to follow in those classrooms. So by picking one learning management system of Canvas, students and teachers and parents now know they go to Canvas first after ClassLink and click on their course and see a landing page or a home page that allows the student and parent to see what is happening that day in class.
Just a lot more streamlined and centralized.
Mm-hmm.
Now with kids on devices all day long, many parents are concerned about screen time. Kids can't sit there in front of a computer and focus all day long. What would you say to parents who are concerned that their student isn't going to be able to do distance learning?
Teachers in those schedules, every school is a little different, and every teacher too, on how they're going to present their curriculum throughout the day, but they will have breaks throughout. And they can read it, like in a classroom, they know when their students are tired, need a break, a stretch, like a recess in the school day. Those are built in so the students can get away, move around at home if they need to, and then come back and check in with that teacher too.
Mm-hmm. And that kind of brings me to my next question. We know that Zoom sessions for in-person, sort of face-to-face, as best we can, instruction are going to be happening. Kids aren't always going to be able to be at those Zoom sessions, so if they miss a Zoom session with a teacher, are they going to be able to access that material later?
Yes, if they're not part of that class, that live session, and they need to access the material at night, parents are working, they need to come in the evening, they can go to that same process of ClassLink, Canvas, and they'll be able to see the assignment and a recording of the instruction, not the entire lesson of the interaction with the kids, but the instruction of whether it's the teacher made the video or they worked with one, of that instruction of the assignment for that day, so they're not behind, but they can check in later on, and then they'd be able to communicate with those teachers of the stuff they had missed for some clarification later on.
Just provide greater flexibility for families and students.
Yes.
Yeah. So, not every parent is a tech whiz. What happens when parents have technical problems? How are they going to get those solved so their kids don't experience an interruption of learning?
The district, we have a group, we have the help desk at the office, which we have the phone number of 360-313-5400. By calling that, or even the students emailing student support, our help desk will help provide students with either over the phone, email support, or in person. If the device isn't working, it's something that can't be fixed through a phone call. Our techs and building techs and our help desk will schedule a location to help with those students and families to get those devices working correctly.
Sure. And beyond that, that's some troubleshooting steps. What kind of training is available to parents in addition to make sure they're prepared?
Training for parents, we've had multiple webinars for middle, elementary, and high school families to watch and ask questions. My team of digital learning coaches also has a website that's found on ClassLink that has the how-to videos for how does a student turn something into Canvas from the iPad or from the Chromebook? How does Google Docs and Drive work? How do they navigate those systems? Those how-to videos will be on there for parents and students and even teachers to remind themselves of those procedures for students.
So again, funneling everybody
Correct.
to ClassLink. That's your common point.
They can always find the resource at ClassLink.
Okay. A big talking, conversation for a lot of parents has been homeschooling, whether to stay with district curriculum or to just try homeschooling in a sort of a more on your own. What kind of materials are there available through the district for homeschooling parents, and what's the difference going to be between homeschooling and the distance learning that the district is offering?
I like this question. As a parent of two elementary young age children, we thought about did we want them for homeschool? I can't speak on behalf of homeschool districts outside of Vancouver, whether it's VLA, Home Connect, where they will be working with the teachers online who have been using that system for a while. We went with going to our local school, and I know the teachers in our district and even at our local school, the time they're spending into all their lessons. They want to make sure that the instruction's there, the kids are connected with, they hear the kids, they see the kids, that their lessons are engaging and that can be offered by a parent. And I'm looking forward to see what happens, and I'm excited for the nerves of the teachers because I know they're excited. They don't know what's really going to happen because they want a full day of class, and that is what's going to happen in the full day setting.
And I think too, parents who are considering homeschooling need to remember also that they're going to be having to come up with a lot more material on
Correct.
their own, and that's what the teachers' jobs are for. The teachers are coming up with their curriculum so the parents don't have to. And so that I feel like for me as a parent, that would deter me a little bit, but that's just me. So when we do eventually return to in-person or hybrid learning, there are going to be parents who are still concerned about safety and don't want to send their students back into a school building, which I understand. What kind of supports are there going to be when we reach that phase, several weeks from now?
Yeah, when students do come back, we don't want to lose anyone, and people are going to be nervous. And we don't want to leave them hanging. We don't want you to know that there is support for you. Whether if it's technical or from the teachers, there's always communication to contact the school, the teacher, our support desk at the help desk if it is technology based. But you're not alone. The Vancouver Public Schools is there for you. We want you to come back and be part of our family because we don't want to lose you. And we know that you will come back and times will get better, but we are there to support you when that time is right.
Sure. That brings me to my next question, which is students who have sort of are on special curriculums, for example, English language learners or advanced placement students who, are doing something special. Will those programs continue online, and how will that work for those students?
They will continue. Not to throw Canvas out again, the landing pages will be, if it's a Spanish class, could be in Spanish instead of English. Those modifications are being made for each teacher and each student to make sure their needs are met in whatever kind of program they're in. Whether it's a one-on-one situation and they need more guidance, those are being met from the teachers in the district.
Sure, that's important that every student's needs are met in some way or another. And my final question to you is, I guess, we are all pretty anxious to see what happens this fall. What would you say to parents who are just feeling unsure about the start of school? I mean, I think we're all feeling unsure about it. None of us know when this situation is going to end. It really is on all of us to wear masks and do the right things, and will people do that? But what would you say to parents to make them feel like, to let them know, I guess, that, the district is doing what it can to support their students?
To help support the students, we are working around the clock. Even here in the ITS department, they work long hours, but the hours that people are putting in right now are beyond what's expected. From people from 7 to 7 each night or later, answering emails of parents and teachers to solve those questions. The district is prepared. Things may go wrong every now and then, but it's a learning experience for the teacher, for the families. We did have the experience in the spring to learn from, but to run a full day will take a little bit of time to get used to from the teacher, from the families. And that's important to remember, that it may start slow, but I think what's to look forward to is that the teacher will be talking again long periods of time with your students and getting to know them until that day when they're back in the classrooms. And as a parent, I'm really looking forward to it. My kids are very excited when they saw their teacher the other day in the pickup line at the school. And they were like, oh, when does school start? And they know, we've asked, is it about do they mind being on the device? They miss the interaction with the friends, but they're more interested in not having mom and dad teach them. And so they're very much looking forward to that live teacher experience again.
Well, Matt, thanks for taking the time. I know you're slamming with all the work you guys are doing,
Yes.
So I'll let you go, but thank you for joining us today.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for having me.
So we just touched on a few of the many questions addressed on the district website. Go to vansd.org/welcome back to see the rest, and please reach out to the district if you have questions that aren't addressed here. Once school starts, remember that your child's teachers are also there to help, so keep open those lines of communication. Again, vansd.org/welcome back is the web address. And that's it for us. Thanks for watching. I'm Nick Vohl.